Hi everybody, I wanted to give you a little bit of quick feedback so that you have a little bit of direction on which way you want to go, and just so that you can see one another's work. It can really help you hone your skills. All right, so let's jump in. I will be looking over the mobile as well. You'll be in a small group probably, and I will post this video for you. So Amber Arbor called this, and good job updating the copyright down there. You do want to move your social icons out of the way a little bit. This is really easy to read, and I always love that. We do want to raise your content up. This image doesn't really speak a lot about who you are. It certainly doesn't show what you're capable of doing. So it's just stock footage. So I would remove that in lieu of getting into some of your work. Let's not have this type. I guess that is telling us which one we're on, but I think there's a better way to do that and not have it overlap there. Probably instead of a sans serif, probably would have a serif font like down here, up here for your navigation. You've done a good job. They're in the right order. You don't have too many pages, and that's great. This is a little tight. This might come down here instead of it being so close with your navigation. It's not really in the header. We don't want this. We just want digital design and products. Okay, this is more like a slogan. It's telling us a little bit about what kind, but you want to just tell them your service really quickly, right? Like you have here. You do want this in the header so that it's on every page automatically. And something like this would be down here, this part, your name would stay up there. And you could use this font and so forth and put it up here. But you do want to take this line out. It's kind of squished here, so it looks forced. The About Me, all good. It looks like there's a little bit of kerning here, but we've jumped to a different font. It's easy to read. I like it. I like the size. I do think this can be more like this, but it is different from this. So, and maybe that's okay, but we have another font here, another font here. We want to just stay with two fonts, for what you're trying to show. I do like this. I just think you're almost there. You're really close. Let's see. This, where it is feels like it's breaking the page up. It's simply the way that it's, designed. It has, it's a good design. It's just where it's placed. I strangely like this. This I like, but we can't really read this text. So that's something that you might find a way to work with. I don't know if you can put something behind it or not in this situation, but it's hard to read. And I really want to check this out. I'm very fascinated by this. I really am. I'd love for you to explain a little bit more to me about that. So, but yeah, I like what you're doing here. I do think this needs to, I don't know, this needs to either come up and align with these, down here, or it needs to come down and that top needs to align with that, I think. But that's something you can work out. But I do like it. We've lost your navigation though. That's an issue. Okay, so make sure your navigation is in the header so that it's on every page. Okay. Okay. Social media. I need some social links, even if it's Canva, right? Too much up here. You want to just put your name, digital designer, put that up there. And we, little work here, right? Some realigning. So first work on your desktop and then come back over and work with this. I do like how clean this is. And, this might be a brand to think about. It's nice and clean, the black, the white, and the green. Yeah, this font, the sans serif isn't working as well. Okay, so simplify your fonts and make sure you have all of your navigation in your header. Okay. Yeah, so just those things we talked about. It's looking good, and I'm very interested in your work. We just kind of need to get into that quicker, I think, rather than this stuff. Okay. All right. Good job. Okay, Michael. I know that your first name is Michael and your last name is Bishop, but that's not necessarily what we see. I might see Caleb B. Shop. I mean, I don't know, but we want a little bit of space there, okay? Let's remove all placeholder photos because they're very well known. I've seen them hundreds and hundreds of times a year. So other people are seeing them too. Let's not have a video over an image, okay, or a video. Let's not stack things like that, okay? This is an edited piece that you did in New Media Tools. So you want to make sure that you check this out. Okay, you do indicate that it's an assignment. You do want to indicate that it's editing. Okay, so this isn't quite centered. Navigation. This template just has a font that is so hard to read. It has very narrow strokes, so I would probably use this font here for that. Okay, for this, and center it. Remove this background, and remember to, let's see, you have updated. Let's see, it's just such a fine stroke for these that it's hard to read. Remove this background. If you look in the recorded videos, I believe it's week 1, the orientation video, it will show you exactly how to do that. You're going to go over to your design. It's about the 4th icon. It's the A with the letter drop, right? Your design theme, and you're going to change the background there. So you're going to select it, make it white, and it'll disappear. And then just put a solid, because again, this is template, and we've seen it because it's a very popular template. Okay, if you want something that you've shot and you want to give it a sepia overlay, then that's a great idea. Let's left align any kind of paragraph text. It makes it easier for the eye to turn to the same place and read it, and it gives you a nice straight edge to work with. Okay, so same thing, we want to get rid of the background, take this image out, and then give more room to your actual work. Okay, and underneath them, give a little bit of a description about what your role was in these and what they were for. Okay, but these are too small. You've got 3 pieces here taking up only a 1/4 of your page. So make those just a little bigger. You can have 2 up, and then maybe you'll have another one eventually, and you can have 2 by 2. But that's what you want to do. Definitely remove these images so you can see what you're working with and you can see your work, all right? Okay. And this, I like this background, but this is just breaking up content in a strange way, the shape. right? So perhaps if you could just have this all this and not have that bar there, that would take some Photoshop work or something, but depending on where you got this. Right? Make sure you have enough contrast to read it. And yeah, once you change these, this font, I think you're going to like it better. Now here you have portfolio underlined, but contact is not underlined, and I would not underline portfolio. All right. Let's take a quick look at the mobile. Okay. Yeah, it's going to clean up once you do that. You could put your name up here. Okay. And then just filmmaker. Okay. We want to make this text column a little wider. You can edit that in your screen over here, your mobile screen, and that will work out. Just make that and left align. It double check. It may left align after you've done it, but it may not come over that way, depending on the template. But I would make sure you left align it in both cases. This is a different font. Let's use the one you have on your home, in your navigation. I'm sorry, I keep saying navigation, in your desktop. It's getting late. Let's see. This looks better, but same thing. Once you remove all that, you'll be able to add a little content underneath about some context to tell us what it was you did in this. So you can close this space up just a little bit. You do need at least a LinkedIn. Make sure your name is up here. Okay. Okay, so now this makes more sense, and you can use it here, but not on the home, not on the desktop view. Okay, it's not working over here. Okay, I can't really tell what that is. Okay, so I would recommend removing it. And so many people use mobile. I think it's great to be a little, kind of a little surprise there on the mobile. I like it like that. Okay, all right. Great job. I'm looking forward to seeing these changes, and make sure that everybody posts their published link, because when you get into week 3 or the beginning of week 4, you're going to have a review of your peers' work, and they need to come back to this particular assignment to pick up your link, and your published link is the one they need for sure, because your your Get Feedback will only last for 2 weeks. It would be great if they can do that and give you feedback on your mobile, but we want to make sure that they can access your site. So make sure you have your published link, which won't expire. All right, Juan, nice. Looks good. Do update the keep wanting to talk about everybody's navigation. Do update the copyright date down there. I do like this photo, and your name is falling really well there. This is getting lost a little bit. It's not too bad. I mean, because everything else is easy to see, so I can tell. Okay, you do want to close this up a little bit. Remember, we want to, especially when you get to mobile, well, that will probably reflow down here, but do close up this gap. Okay, and make sure. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's remove this background. Again, you're going to go into the design theme, and you're going to change your background for that. And then move this up, move this over into a column or something. This has a beautiful look to it. I really am enjoying that, because it has such a 20s, 30s, glamour shot, and yet it's got these traces of today, really only the ring. So it's really a fantastic image. You've got the catch light, really good. Okay. All right, I get the feeling that needs to be linked up. These need to be linked up. And a contact page. So you'll want to add a contact page. You'll go over to your pages and menu in your links editor and you will add a page and it will give you the option and choose something simple, right? But it's looking good. Okay. But link those up. Update that, close that up. Beautiful photo. I do have left align that and remove this, any placeholders, anything that is not yours, all right? Okay, so here you have your contact page. What's missing? The home page. All right, so make sure you make some of those adjustments, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this is all going to come together. All right, good work. Okay, Marissa, we need to bring this down a little bit, but we want to have your name up here and what you do. All right. This should be here. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. Okay. All right. There's a big gap here between this style and this, which is great, and this work. Okay, so I don't think they belong on the same page. They may not even belong on the same site. Okay, so you might want to make a choice here between what you want to do. Okay. If this is yours, let's see. Okay, so let me know about that. Because this is not yours. Okay, so the editorial is, but I just got to know about these photos. Okay, so yeah, we've got some experimental pieces which are interesting, just they're not going well with the yearbook kind of photos. All right, I hope that makes sense to you. It's very easy to have two websites, very easy, and this could be a whole different form of income. And then have your experimental pieces, exploration and videos and photos on your portfolio. Okay, so I would duplicate this. You're going to duplicate it to make your edits, but I would also duplicate it to make a third site and then take off all of your other things, and you can just keep your, on the third site, you can keep some of these examples, okay, but I wouldn't mix them. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, this fits, you know, but it's a whole different look. I mean, they're all great. They are just a different brand, so to speak. But it's really great, and it's going to be great. Update this, remember? Really important. Update your year. Put that to the end. Booking online, I think that that is going to be better for that third site. I mean, you really are going to have two, but your second one is your revised portfolio. Your third one, you could have book online. You're not going to have people booking online for your film work. So just have your contact. I hope that makes sense to you. It's my recommendation that they not be together. Both great, just greater separate. This up here. Okay. All right. Okay, nice. All right. And of course, you can have a link to your other site. In fact, that would really help your SEO. Okay. Give this a minute. Okay. This is getting a little hard to read here. I can see it here and here. Be mindful of dollar signs. People will associate that with spending a lot for their work to pay you, and that's not the first thing you want to discuss with them. Let's see. I see this as a link, but not the best place for that. Check your kerning here. There's a lot of space, and I would not split up graphic designer. I would bring that down here. Make this bigger. This is not where you want this. I mean, you can have it here. So, you know, you can have what you do. You've got this twice, so you don't need that here. Okay? And so just have what you do up there, but make it a simpler text. You could use this text if you want, but something that ties in. Okay. Make sure we have this centered. All right, and remove that image. I think I told you that before. So let's, you can have a little more space here. Bring this strip down a little bit, open it up a little, and remove that altogether. Okay, working. I don't usually like drop downs, but it's not covering content. This image I don't understand. I'm not sure. I don't think it's yours. So let's get rid of that. Yeah, let's use this font style over here for just your tagline, not the Mr. Here and After. You can have your contact over there with your link. Let's see. This looks like a broken link there, or it's such a large file it's not loading. So, okay. Make sure you have the same amount of space between your photos and your taglines throughout, both vertically and horizontally. Okay, now these all fit together. They all feel like a similar brand so far. The style. This is starting to get a little more commercial. So, yeah, be careful with that. No, this is different. You've got your wedding. A wedding site can be its own website if you're doing weddings and portraits, which is not the same as marketing photos. Okay, let's not have a big blank there. I know we're rolling over and we're getting something, but mostly it's a gap, and everything else is too good to have that. Make sure there are no broken images. We've got interesting photos. That's more like a travel photo, feels like. Okay. Yeah, so a little bit of organizing, just a little putting things. Okay, so it is your photo, but it's great here. It's not great where we saw it before because it's not even being seen, and I don't remember where it was. There you go, friends. There it is. Let's try not to have that line break there. Make it smaller. Make sure that that is a Google Voice or something, a free Google Voice, so people aren't automatically grabbing your phone number. Rather than have this gap, let's bring photography up and then just instead of having this line say or videography shoot. That way it will reflow. Photography can be up here and videography can be on the same line that it is. Try not to have so much space. I'm sorry, to include a little padding up here above the name. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the street photography is really great. A little less scrolling. Some of these could be smaller, or if you can make them the same size. Right, we've got this center gap. If we can get these to where they're a little closer together and very related, you know, I like this tension with this. Well, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, this seems like it works well with that, and then this with this. Maybe this one doesn't seem to work as well with the street, even though I know it's very active. Just, you know, work those out a little bit. I do love this, and I do love how this lighting and all of that is. Just a little bit more curating. But I think that's kind of one of the main things, and then some of the empty blocks. This, it's not ultra commercial. This one is, you know, this, but these not so much. These are very portrait-like. Well, these aren't. This is a portrait seeming. That could stay on this site for sure, as could that, and that. The, you know, the ones with the tassels and the gowns, graduation gowns, they feel a little different. They might, you might have a link to a separate website for these kind of commercial things where you can book people. Okay, so yeah, it's just a little more organizing, Prince, and I think it's going to be really awesome. We're going to work around this up here, work that out a little. That's I'm unsure about that, you know, what it is exactly. I'm not used to coming over here to the left. Try not to cover your face. So probably put your image down here instead of in the header. That's probably, this is just going to be up here. And you might have to reduce this. You could say designer or something. It's a little much to work with there. So I'm going to let you go through and work with these things. I think your events, you should have your wedding events together, you know, black and white. Just, you know, I'm sure you probably haven't had a lot of time to go through and curate these things. Text on images, watch that. Okay, if these come up, make sure they're optimized. See, they work well here because they're the same size. Okay. They're all the same width, for sure. And you can just say prom. You don't have to say project title, as long as you're consistent throughout, you know, but you can abbreviate it, especially in your mobile. Well, that isn't quite working. It's busy, hard to read, and it confuses me a little bit. This is cut off, so I think that's not the best place for something what you're trying to do there. Again, that, close all this space up. I'm not sure you need that if you have these. So I think we've talked about everything that is relevant. You're super close. You've got some great work. I'm really excited to see it, and I think you're almost there. So, you could just say discover the beauty of life. We don't have to say this. The thing is, I see this kind of thing often. and it's about them. So let's say discover the beauty of life, maybe, if you're able to do that there. All right. Well done, Prince. It's looking good. And I'm looking forward to seeing these next week, too. All right. So thank you, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. And tomorrow at 1, there is a live Q&A if you have any questions you need to ask. Otherwise, you can post your questions in the assignment, and I will try and respond to those as quickly as I can. All right. Good night, everybody.